Oh man, I want to make this video so bad. I saw this and I'm like, yeah, it's time for me to make these controversial videos. First of all, let's not just be disrespectful, people. I don't know how people can act like a color. That sound
I was
ignorant
born
as
in
fuck.
Thailand.
Whoever made this video, please explain what acting black means or acting white. If you were implying acting black means acting ghetto, hood, and ratchet, and then acting white is acting articulate, enunciation, and being proper, then that's racist as own. You know what I'm saying? Like that don't make no sense to me at all, man. Like you can't act like a color, but if we are putting labels on shit, then so be it. I can't really stop people from making those type of labels, but those labels are really ignorant as hell to say about anybody that you come across and talk to. If somebody's acting like a color, what that makes you, you know what I'm saying? Because you are labeling somebody to act like a certain thing instead of using the right terminology as hood or ghetto or ratchet. But when people think of that, they think of black people. They don't think about poverties. They don't think about low income or low class citizens. They just think about black and minority, including Mexicans and Hispanics and Native. And it's kind of crazy to me. And I think I guess we are the found father of hood and ghetto-ness and low poverty and low class and low income. I guess we're the foundation of it. That's why they use the word at black, I guess. It's kind of crazy. When you think of at white, you think of people who listen to rock and country, who can articulate, who has high income, middle class or rich or even stable financially, and at the end of the day it leads to stereotypes, and most stereotypes are true, but I guess the fathers, the founding fathers are the white people, huh? But you can't exclude you can't include the Asians and some Hispanics, but nope, you can't do that because you know what I'm saying? Because they don't look at them as a founding father, especially in the United States. It's kind of crazy because when they say at white or anything has to do with high income, or high class people, or even just people with rich or at least stability of financial literacy and all the such, they think of white people. So I get the label and the stereotype, but that shit gotta stop. That shit's corny as hell. But let's see what people talk about here because I might be the devil advocate and help old Shawty out. Who knows?
And I grew up in Georgia for a decade. And then I fucking moved to Nebraska. Hello guys, welcome back. And if you don't know me, I go by Trey. And today I will be getting my LASIK eye surgery, so I'm really excited. LASIK surgery changed her accent? Now, there's some huge drama online surrounding this girl that we see on our screen and her supposedly faking her accent. Now, as you just heard, according to her, she is from Thailand. And based on the name of the YouTube channel, I guess owned by her and her boyfriend or brother. Hello, everybody. Welcome back. Oh, excuse me. Thought this was a guy originally. Apparently it's a girl. My bad for misgendering you. I shouldn't have assumed. It is 2024, of course, so yeah. According to the little bit of info that I could see so far, this is her girlfriend on the left, and this is the woman in question right here on the right, who's from Thailand, who is supposedly faking her accent, and the internet is outraged by the entire debacle. First word is axe. Identities. Oh. Burberry, Scrubbery, Screech, Shrimp, Skid, it's an easy one. Thank, Rule, and a bonus round.
What the fuck? Hey, bro. Hey, hey, I'm trying to be the devil advocate, right? But you trying too hard to use accents from the hood, from the ghetto. Are you missing like Detroit, Chicago, and Memphis? Like I'm hearing Memphis more than Chicago, more than Atlanta, and then less of Detroit. Barely New York. So what accent are you using, bro? Because if you are from the hood, the ghetto, Why are you using these four types of assets and combine it in one? Because I hear New York a little bit more Memphis than New York, a little bit sprinkle of Chicago, a little bit sprinkle of Detroit, and then Atlanta. So what are we doing, dog? Like, why we pretend to be something we not just to make money off of TikTok? It's crazy, dog. But people live these little weird lifestyle, I guess.
Earn. Yo, that's crazy, yo. She just put like 6 or 7 different accents in one video,
Oh
bro. Like,
God,
this is north, east, west, is south, all in one video. I mean, she really just said all. Like, she came straight out of Alabama or the deepest, darkest southern parts of Georgia. I mean, days, old,
I got
Burberry,
Memphis already.
Strawberry, Screech. Yo, why does she say strawberry like that? Strawberry, Screech? Like, bitch, you are not from Atlanta. Stop it. Shrimp, scared. It's an easy one. Thank. Ooh. Notice how she says thank, right? She says think as in thank. That is definitely Southern. But then here comes the bonus round where it's supposed to be Aaron earned and iron earn. This is how she says it. Earn. She says earn. Like, that is straight up from Baltimore, Maryland. That is how the descendants of the people from the first 13th colonies and the Irish and all them Lucky Charms, look at the Irish ass motherfuckers up there and their descendants speak. But previously, most of the words she was pronouncing was with like a Southern accent. So that's a dead giveaway. She's definitely faking her accent, but it could be because she's trying to copy pop culture, which typically tends to happen when you have somebody from a different country coming over here trying to assimilate and learn the language that they're immersed in, right? Or the
Yeah.
accents of the people that they typically surround themselves with. Soul food.
This is why Asian cultures don't want their kids to go to the United States. I talked to a lot of Asian people in like certain colleges. I asked them like a personal questions of like what your parents would think of you doing this type of shit. Like personally, they don't care because they know their parents won't find out unless somebody does snitch. But their parents don't want them to hang out with like traditional United States people because United States like we have ability to make people rebel against their own people, even if it's not intentional. You know what I'm saying? So it's kind of like Asian people really don't like people from the United States, man. They don't. They feel that we are crybabies and irresponsible, and they afraid that their daughters and the son might knock off like a black person, or not even just black, just people with no money. Like they want them to get married to people who got who works in the hospitals and worse in anything above making like 100K or more. If you ain't making 100K or more, then they're not accepting it. They speak their they speak their language before you date them. I know certain people who is outside their race, like some blacks, some whites, have hard time to be part of the culture of in Asia just because of their skin tones and their skin color, especially black people. Mexican people get a little tolerated here and there. White people is probably the most exceptional one, just because even though Asian people really don't like white people, it's the money with it. As long as you make 100K and more, they don't care. You know what I'm saying? This is why you have broke ass niggas who's from the trailer parks who will go to a different country and marry a bitch from a different country. The bitch don't even know that. Oh, a lucky white man picked me. Oh, me. White man picked me. And then find out you live in a trailer park, clean his shit. He ain't making no type of bread, no money. You pissed off. But the only reason why you marry him because you want to make money and send your money to your family, because your money means more in the United States than your country. So if we gave you like what $10, that shit would turn to $100. Shit like that. She knows what she's doing. She's taking a risk, and she don't want to make this risk, but she want her family to eat and have fun too. So I'm sorry you have to sacrifice what you love, what you like to do, to feed your family. And that's what certain Asian people do, especially Filipinos. I be hearing a lot of Filipino women who are married to these trailer park white boys. And they get mad when they find out they some broke ass, low income, stinking ass people. So, but they know that they got money at the end of the day to support their whole family. So it's kind of like sometimes you gotta do what you gotta do when you don't want to do it. So
We got the fried fish with yam, mac and cheese, cornbread. She said cornbread. Oh my god. That hot sauce. Pour the hot sauce on the fish. I mean, I'm not gonna lie. First of all, the food looks delicious,
oh
bussin', fire, absolutely mouth-watering, and it's a dead giveaway of the ethnicities that she's
so
being friends with or hanging around with. Gotta be some real southern
yeah, I was about to say she's friends with the southern people.
folk in the mix. Some people who know about some good eating. But yeah, as you can imagine,
Facts.
a lot of people are angry about this. And
Anybody from the East, West, and the Midwest, they can't cook for shit. You want some real good food? Go down south. I mean,
and to be honest, as you already know, the internet is always outraged about something. Am I mad about this? I couldn't care less about how somebody from a different country wants to speak or try and assimilate to our culture here in
facts. Yep, I'm glad you said that. I'm the same way. But the label of acting black and white has to stop. That shit's corny as hell to me. It's not irritating, but it's corny. You know, every time people say I act white, I have to correct them. Because it's like, that is the dumbest shit I've ever heard in my life. But as far as people acting like something, that's their free will. That's what they choose. You know what I'm saying? If God allows the devil to have free will to do what the fuck he wants, then shit, you know, all of us humans can do the same thing, but our consequence is gonna lead us to our demise or a reward. It all depends what route we take.
America. I mean, clearly she's like mixing up different regions and taking different dialects and the way different people speak from around the country and mixing it all into one. So the longer she's here, though, the more fine-tuned and refined and more she'll learn to speak more naturally, as accents do change over time depending on who you're surrounded with, who you speak to every day, and what kind of media you're being indoctrinated with. But yeah, a lot of people are upset. You know, somebody even pointed out that she didn't have the accent 2 years ago when this was filmed. Your age? My age? I think I look like 15 years old, but I'm 24. So old, huh? I am 20. What? You don't even know your age? Oh my god. 22. I'm gonna be 23 in October. In a few months. So about 2 years ago, as you can see, when she
Who gives a fuck? She probably changed because she probably, bro, a lot can happen in 2 years. That's why I don't like people in the internet. Like, yeah, people in the internet act like people can't change within 2 years. Maybe she liked the culture. Maybe she was accepting more to a black culture than the white culture. You know, white people don't really have cultures, so. But anyways, maybe she was more accepted to like black and minority. Maybe they was teaching her some shit that she didn't know about. Maybe they taught her some shit. Maybe they gave her some points. You know what I'm saying? Like a lot of shit can change within 2 years. Maybe she's not acting like it. Maybe she's a product of her environment. Cause once she got comfortable and start hanging around the southern black people, maybe she adopted uh the behavior. That's okay. It happens to the best of us. We adopt behaviors unconsciously and we unaware about. You know what I'm saying? Like I adopted certain behavior as a child for for certain things I seen as a child. You know what I'm saying? Certain things I knew personally that wasn't it for me. I had very strong intuition, fruition, and my aura is just great. You know what I'm saying? Personally, when it comes to my behaviors, it wasn't as great because even though I avoid like games and drugs and smoking, drinking, all the other shit, the day I could avoid the most because it was always constantly happening around me is fighting. You adopt certain days that you see and you are unaware about it until you actually make a move. Like when I made my action back in what third grade when I got in the fight for the first time, I didn't realize it came from home until I actually paid attention as I grew up. Oh shit, this is where I adopted the behavior of want to whoop people's asses. Oh, you know what I'm saying? Like maybe within 2 years, she was more accepted. Maybe she want to expand her mind and be very versatile, because it's a lot of people who are very brain dead and sheeples and NPCs because they believe shit on TV. Like Africa is a very poor city. And let's feed these Africans 25 cents a day. But in reality, Africa is one of the richest cities, well, richest places in the world. One of the richest places in the world. And you know what I'm saying? Like television can do that to people. It's called predictive program. When you allow predictive program to stereotype your views, maybe she grew up and maybe she gave the black people a chance. Maybe she was prejudiced or discriminating, and maybe she did fuck with black people because she what she seen on TV, that's who they are in real life. But once she got to know black people, she was like, you nothing like the ones on TV I see. Like just arrived here. Black people had to tell her, yo, that's television. They like to stereotype every race, every gender, every color, every age, every youth, everything. Like that's why people say if you go watch TV, be more mindful, open minded, and come through with a very a very mindful mindset, a thoughtful, very open minded. Because at the end of the day, people who put stereotypes in movies are the ones trying to destroy people. Like they put stereotypes for Mexicans, for Asian, for black, from Native American to children to adults to women to male to black to white to Chinese to Mexican to all sorts of things. Any day that is gonna energy harvest and ain't as bad publicity or good publicity. If something's gonna trigger certain areas, like if a guy get raped by a woman, that ain't gonna get much attraction than a male grape a woman. Or that's not gonna have much attraction if if a white shoots a black, that's gonna have more attraction than a black shooting a white. It all depends, because world go by. The money makes the world go around. And as long as bad shit happens, they can pull views and shit, stereotype, and continue with their terrible agenda. That's what they do. Only people who are brain dead and sheeples will believe the TV and believe based on what you see on TV versus what you do outside. Don't be the fish in the bowl. Be the fish that can swim and expand their fucking horizon within the ocean. Like I don't want to, don't be no fucking fish in the bowl. You know what I'm saying? That means you very close minded, and that's who you are. And what I believe is what she's doing is she's open minded, even though she's doing the wrong things. Maybe her intention is not to do that, but when you be around so many people, other people's personality rub off of you. I can't blame her. Thailand, straight off the boat. She still has sort of a semi-strong Taiwanese accent, if you will, which is, of course, is normal. This is expected for any immigrant coming to this country. Fair. Taiwanese accent, if you will, which is, of course, is normal. This is expected for any immigrant coming to this country. However, 2 years later now, she's discovering her own accent, assimilating to the culture. Her accent is adjusting, and things have changed, and I think that's what a lot of people are mad about. They want her to keep her same strict-ass Taiwanese accent without realizing that your accent will change over time. If you're no longer speaking your native tongue, and you're not speaking that specific dialect, because different languages demand different... Thank you, thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Somebody who made this video is very open minded. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Because I basically said that with my whole rant. Types of vocal cord enunciations and ways of speaking. And another wild thing is there are fellow Asian people coming out and, calling this stuff out as well. You got this one girl who said this.
That one Thai girl who was like, oh yeah, I grew up in Atlanta and la 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 la. Okay, I'm from Houston. I grew up in the suburbs. Sometimes I use slang here and there. But what? Yo, look, the jokes just write itself. Yeah, I grew up in Houston. I live in the suburbs. Okay, now look. But you sound look. I know I'm about to contradict myself, but does she sound white?
let's just say she sound white, right? She said she grew up in Houston. She grew up in the suburbs. So why not the girl who's grew up in Atlanta, but she talks black? But why that affects you? Look at your accent, compare her accent. Like, nigga, what? Okay, now it's like a black versus white energy spirit within these two Asians. And the girl who's supposedly acting black ain't even worried about this chick. But a white girl who is a suburb, well, an Asian girl who grew up in Houston is a suburb, got a problem with an Asian girl who grew up in Atlanta in the hood sounded black. bro, that's what I'm saying. Humans are dumb, bro. Like, humans are dumb, bro. Like, sometimes I feel like I'm a celestial being. I feel like that. Like, I'm not even human at all. I feel like I was, you know what I'm saying? Like, what the fuck, bro? Like, the more I observe these human behavior, it gets. I shut up more because the more I talk about it, the more chaotic it gets because people are very close minded. They're not even looking for the truth at this point. They're looking for reactions. They're very close minded. They're not going to listen, sit down, be an active listener. And people cause commotion by having their own feelings. When they have their feelings and they turn that shit to a perspective, now they're holding that prejudged mindset. Now every time you bring up receipts and you tell them this is actually happening, they will never change their mind because they already felt what they felt versus knowing the facts. It's crazy.
Why are you talking like that? You're embarrassing us.
You see what I'm saying? You see what I'm saying? Why are you talking like that? You embarrassing us. But my lady, you sound white. Again, I know I'm being a hypocrite, but let me explain. Now you sound like one of them white women who are called Karens. Why you sound like a Karen right now? Like, what's going on with you?
Talk normal.
See, look.
Are you seeing what I'm seeing?
See?
Because I'm seeing a whole lot of bullshit.
So personally, I'm not sure why she's so triggered. Like, sure, she may be faking her act.
Why yet? Hey, continue, bro.
Right, and she did definitely, I believe, lie about where she grew up.
I was born in Thailand, and I grew up in Georgia.
She said she was born in Thailand and she then grew up in Georgia, which is definitely inaccurate.
That makes no sense. I mean, you grew up in Thailand, but you from Georgia. That makes more sense. Like Eminem, he's born and raised in Missouri, but he's from Detroit, Michigan. Like, that's possible. Maybe that's what she's trying to say. That's possibility what she's trying to say.
Accurate as 2 years ago in that video we just saw.
Your age? My age? Oh, I am 20.
Yo, that shit crazy.
What? You don't even know your age? Oh my god. 22. I'm gonna be 23 in October. In 3 months.
So clearly that's not a Georgia accent. It's not an Atlanta accent. It's nowhere near being Southern. It's definitely Asian. But as for this girl right here, I mean, she does say that you're embarrassing us. I mean, I really don't know what she means by that. Is she talking about Asians in general? Because there's like over 1 billion Asians all over Asia, India, Mongolia, Thailand, China, Malaysia, like so many Asians. You're not the ambassador and representation of all those different ethnicities in Asia. But again, I digress. Another Asian came out. I believe he's actually from Thailand or has some Taiwanese ancestry, and this is what he had to say about this entire situation.
That's crazy because so was I. I also was born in Thailand and came here as a refugee, but when I was 3 years old. I'm about to turn 26, so I've been here for 20 plus years. And I grew up in the hood for those 20 plus years. And majority of my friends are black. So if anybody out there has a claim to the throne of fake accents, it's me. Because that just seems like the go-to story.
Hey, man. Hey, see, thank you. Look, he, this man right here just proved my point throughout the whole video. Say less.
For everybody who's like being called out on their accent, they always say the same thing. But I feel like in order to have an accent, right, to truly speak the way you claiming to speak, I feel like you need to be fully immersed, right, in an environment by people who all sound like that. Like when you're young and you're learning English and you're impressionable, right? You need to be learning English from people who talk like that, who have been talking like that their whole lives. And like, I don't really see any other way to develop a genuine accent, like outside those reasons, you know what I mean? And guess what, Miss Conebread, I am the same ethnicity as you. We are a part of the same community, and I know a lot of the same people you know. I've checked your socials. We have a bunch of mutuals. And the community is saying, as we all know by now, that you don't talk like that for real. And I don't know why you're on this app trying to convince millions of people on the internet that you do talk like that. Because I'm not really seeing what the end goal is. Like, what are you trying to gain from out of this? You know what I'm saying? What are you trying to get by faking an accent and claiming to speak a certain way? Like, there's nothing wrong with being yourself. In fact, your immigrant accent is actually pretty cool. So I don't know why you would just keep your original accent and not, try to claim another one. It's okay to be yourself. No one's going to shame you for being yourself. There's nothing wrong with being yourself. And you fucking making us look bad, bro, and I'm tired.
So, yeah, I agree with most of what he says. It is the go-to excuse. You were born there, but you grew up here when you obviously did not. And you definitely got to immerse yourself in a specific culture or around a certain group of people in order to adopt the language or the accent in a way that doesn't throw people off, right? And you definitely shouldn't be lying about your origins. However, my brother, I don't necessarily think she's faking anything in the way that we think fake means. I think it's just a natural progression in the changing of one's accent.
Yeah, facts. I was gonna say I at first I agree with him, and then he kind of slowed down from there, and he went from like she's faking it, and what's that you embarrassing us. Like, I mean, that's how white people felt like towards Eminem. They're like, yo, Eminem is a wigger. He tried to act black. He's embarrassing us. It's like, no, he grew up with us. He definitely grew up with us. You just don't like that. It's a difference between Kid Rock and Eminem. Kid Rock is actually racist. He's from Michigan. He's not even from Detroit. He's from that rich ass white area. I forgot what's it called in Michigan. But his parents is rich, and they own like a fucking clubhouse and shit. And Kid Rock, as a kid, decided, let me just explore. Let me just exploit Nate like black culture, because he was trying to get rich, right? Nobody wasn't feeling his rock songs, his country songs. He was a badass kid, so forth on. So he went to Detroit, hang out with the black people. Black people didn't know he was racist. The black people from Detroit started helping him, making music, rap songs, so forth on. And once Kid Rock became famous, he didn't take none of the black people who taught him how to rap or nothing up there with them. And Kid Rock showed his true color once he became rich. When he became rich, that's when he became Republican. Well, he was always Republican. He was just secretly good at manipulating people, which it was my people. And when they found out that Kid Rock was actually rich, he was never poor. He was using his daddy and mama money. He became rich, and then he started to become very racist towards black people. And he admits that he used black people. He exploited their culture for his own gains. Now he's no longer making hip hop music. He's making Republican rock music, rock country music. It's crazy because people will do anything to exploit other people's culture. Like, man, when I heard that story and I actually looked it up on YouTube and I looked it up and did my own research, Kid Rock is nothing compared to Eminem. Eminem was actually broke. He was actually poor. He had 80. He has autism. Oh man, I looked at Eminem's stories, and he's not even from Detroit, to be honest. He's from Warren, Michigan. They put Detroit, Michigan, because Detroit, Michigan is the motor city, is the bigger city. At the time, Detroit, Michigan used to be the capital of the Michigan, but now they're not capital no more. Now the capital of Michigan is Lansing. So you got Lansing, Michigan as the capital city. But at the time, Detroit, Michigan was the capital city of Michigan. But it would make sense why people put Eminem in Detroit, Michigan, because Warren, Michigan is literally not too far away from Detroit, Michigan. Warren, Michigan is right next to Detroit, Michigan, but if we really want to be specific, he's from Warren, Michigan. How I know? Because I'm from Michigan, and it's not hard to gather informations and info from other people, bro. I'm just being honest. Kid Rock, he's no exceptional. You know what I'm saying? Like, you just have to do your research to find who is who and what is what. You know.
over time. That's natural. That's perfectly natural. Even as an adult, you still have a lot of neuroplasticity in your brain that allows you to learn certain things, adjust to certain environments and ways of thinking. That being said, though, let me know your thoughts and opinions down below. I really, for me, it's not that deep, but I
It's
know to a
not.
lot of you, probably you feel some type of way because, you know, the world is soft. People are offended. Fake outrage, and she said cornbread as cone bread. She pronounces think as thank like a southern person would, but then pronounces Aaron earned and iron earn as earn.
All right, I'm done listening to this video, but yeah, man, I'm gonna be honest, man. Uh, I don't give a shit. I just looked at the video because it's an Asian girl get destroyed for talking black. I mean, I'm glad he put that quotation marks. You know what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, what is acting the color? You know, if you want to be very specific, just put hood, ghetto, or low poverty or low class. But you know, I agree with this man for this video. 100% agree with him. I 100% agree with him, bro. Like, whew.